Hi, morning everybody. I'm Heinz de Boer, the Democratic Alliance spokesperson for Environmental Affairs and Conservation in KwaZulu-Natal. And I'm here today at Midmar Dam, and we are here as part of the KZN Finance Portfolio Committee study intervention on Ezemvelo KZN wildlife, which essentially means that the Finance Committee has now intervened into the financial affairs of Ezemvelo, is doing a study on where the money goes when it is paid to the entity. So we have started off here today at Midmar Dam, and it's a very tranquil place. And I must say that just in the general first impressions of it is that the Midmar Dam Resort has some amazing potential. We know it hosts the Midmar Mile, but it has so much more potential, and it has actually been earmarked as one of the first strategic areas that will be used for the commercialization strategy for Ezemvelo KZN wildlife, which is really a commercialization concept that will take over some of the functions of Ezemvelo, particularly in terms of perhaps restaurants, accommodation offerings, to take that out of the hands of Ezemvelo and to let Ezemvelo concentrate on their core mandate, which is biodiversity protection, which of course has suffered quite substantially. So we have just looked at the road, which will cost 33 million rand to rehabilitate, approximately a 6.5 kilometer section of road, and that should be completed by May 2023. So that is a positive step, and Treasury is funding that, the KZN Treasury. But there are other niggly issues which, off the beaten track, the portfolio has not looked at, and I'm just going to show you very briefly what I'm talking about. So in essence, what we have here is an ablution block, and as you can see, there's some substantial work that needs to be done in this ablution block. If we just carry on, although the grass is cut and it looks all right, this is in fact locked. And we can see quite clearly that there's plumbing supplies lying everywhere, and this ablution block is not functional. And then of course, if we have to walk up, there's another ablution block which also is completely dysfunctional, and the windows are broken, which is a great pity considering that Midmar is such an amazing place. Now this is a particular section of the road. As you will see, it goes into the distance, that will be refurbished in this project, and the condition of the road is utterly shocking. So that will benefit from resurfacing. Hopefully by May, June next year, we'll see an improvement in that. But this is just a typical example of what goes on at many Ezemvelo resorts. It's typically the ablution blocks and the accommodation facilities which suffer, under the leadership, I would say, of Ezemvelo, and it's simply just not good enough. That our prime tourist and economic development areas are suffering from what is essentially a lack of budget, which is sad considering that Ezemvelo does receive up to R1 billion from the entity every year, that being the Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs entity. So I wouldn't say it's a bad story to tell it at Midmar. There is progress here, but certainly a lot more can be done to improve the Midmar precinct, and certainly I'll be back to keep an eye on what is going on here and the resurfacing projects, and we hope that they will get these ablution facilities right very soon. Ultimately, it's all about making this a capable entity, and in doing so boosting the local economy and creating jobs, because the economy of KwaZulu-Natal is heavily reliant on tourism, and we must get this right. So tomorrow we are off to Itala Game Reserve, and after that we will be going to Tembe Reserve, and I'll post some updates on that. Thanks.